The joy of the Lord. The joy of the Lord. Today, specifically, we want to look at the joy of giving unto the Lord. The joy of giving unto the Lord. And for the next, however long the Lord will say so, we want to delve into the aspect of the joy of the Lord and our joy in giving unto the Lord. We look at the book of Exodus, chapter number 36. I'll begin with verse 1. Then brought Bezaleel and Aholiab and every wise-hearted man in whom the Lord put wisdom and understanding to know how to work all manner of work for the service of the sanctuary according to all that the Lord had commanded. And Moses called Bezaleel and Aholiab and every wise-hearted man in whose heart the Lord had put wisdom, even everyone whose heart stirred him up to come unto the work to do it. And they received of Moses all the offerings which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary to make it withal. And they brought yet unto him free offerings every morning. And all the wise men that wrought all the work of the sanctuary came every man from his work which he made. And they spake unto Moses, saying, the people bring much more than enough for the service of the work which the Lord commanded to make. And Moses gave commandment, and they caused it to be proclaimed throughout the camp, saying, let neither man nor woman make any more work for the offering of the sanctuary. So the people were restrained from bringing, for the stuff they had was sufficient for all the work to make it, and too much. And the church said amen. Amen. The church said amen. There ought to be a joy in us giving unto the Lord. Amen. Ought to be a joy. And the passage that we have before us establishes this background. Remember, the children of Israel were in Egypt, and God has delivered them out of bondage. And he is now leading them to the promised land. Israel has now encamped at a mountain, and God summons Moses up to the mountain, and God's going to give Moses the law. And also the pattern for the tabernacle, the guidance for the priesthood. And this is critically important to the life that they're going to live moving forward. And so it just takes a little time. It takes the Lord some time to school Moses. And Moses remains up there in that mountain with the Lord for some time. In chapter 32 of Exodus, we find out that when Moses delayed to return, it took a little while, and people began to get restless. And as a result of their restlessness, they decided to make them a golden calf and attribute to a golden calf, something that they made with their own hands, to attribute to that their deliverance from Egypt. God told Moses time to get down from the mountain. Now I'm going down there and see what's going on. Moses gets there and finds out that the people are having a party. All of you who used to go to parties. Amen. They were partying in the camp. And Moses got there and found the situation and began to understand why God had become so angry, why the wrath of God was pitched, because the people that should have been worshiping and praising were partying. As a result, Moses determines to destroy that golden calf. And then as a result, those who were instigators were destroyed. There were about 3,000 who perished that day as a result. God called Moses back again to give him the law. And when he gives him the law, he outlines for him, again, not just the Ten Commandments, but all of the Levitical processes, the priesthood, the various sacrifices, and the furnishings of the tabernacle. It's interesting then, when God finishes with Moses, Moses has to then go back down and communicate to the people what God has now said. And in chapter 35, verse 1, Moses gathered all of the congregation of the children of Israel together. And in verse 5 of chapter 35, this is what God has instructed Moses to tell the people. Take ye from among you an offering unto the Lord. Whosoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it, and offer an offering of the Lord, gold, silver, brass, and so forth. The willing heart is what was crucial. God said, now, I've already blessed them. That they have within their own hands that which is necessary for the work that I've called them to do, but I want them to do it, those who are of a willing heart. Chapter 35, verse 20 then picks up, and you'll find these words. And all the congregation of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses, and they came, everyone whose heart stirred him up, and everyone whom his spirit made willing, and they brought the Lord's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation for all his service and for the holy garments. Verse 22, don't miss this. And they came, both men and women, as many as were willing-hearted. And then it goes on for the next few verses to talk about all of the things that they brought, the various jewels, the various colors and linens, the skins, the silver, the gold, the brass, all of what God had already blessed them with. They brought it. And in verse 29 of chapter 35, the children of Israel brought a willing offering unto the Lord, every man and woman whose heart made them willing to bring for all manner of the work which the Lord had commanded. So do you get the picture? Do you get the sense that God looks at the condition of your heart when he says, now do this, but you ought to do it because you want to do it. You ought to do it because you realize that everything you have, God gave it to you to start with. None of what we possess is our own, but God has blessed us. And so he has given into their hand. And now, but he says, I want you to do it because you want to do it. I want you to do it because you have a willing heart to do it. Well, they began to bring those free will offerings, those offerings of a willing heart. Chapter 36 then picked up and said that the men that Moses, through God, has identified as going to lead the work, those who are expert in knowing how to do the work that God has determined for the sanctuary. Moses called them to him, and everything that the people brought, he then put it into the hands of those who were going to actually do the work. And so we have two very important concepts that we must look at today in terms of our giving. First, there were those that they didn't have the skill to necessarily do the work, but they brought the resources. Now they were in their church. They may not have themselves been able with their own hand to do the work, but they brought what was necessary so that then those who could do the work were able to get the work done. God looks at both our giving of our resources, but also the giving of our time. Because it took those who were going to do the work time to do what thus saith the Lord. And so we cannot divorce our giving of our material resources and our time unto the service of the Lord. If you don't have time to do that which God has called us to do, you're too busy. I need to say that again. If you don't have time to do what God has called you to do, you are too busy. And you need to look at eliminating some other stuff. But all too often, we want to cut God off in the pursuit of other stuff. Joyful giving of our resources, our time, and certainly then our praise. Praising God ought to be a joyous thing for those who know and love the Lord. I think praising God ought to be a joyous thing for those who know and love the Lord. Let me get out your way, church, because I guess daddies are waiting to get to the collard greens and the neck bones they ate. But here's what we find in chapter 36. Moses gives it to the hand of the men who are doing the work. In verse 3, and this is critically important, they received of Moses all the offering which the children of Israel had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary to make it withal. Notice this. And they brought yet unto him free offerings. How often? Every moment. See, they realized that it wasn't a one-time thing. Because some folks specialize, they may give one time, but they're not going to give another time. They think that one time ought to be enough for all time. And yet the scripture is very clear. When they began to recognize that they were where they were because of the grace of God, they began to give God on a daily basis. And so God wants to challenge us today, church, not to just be Sunday Christian. You got to walk with God every day. You ought to be giving unto God of yourself on a day-to-day basis. They brought it every morning.
Yes, sir.
Well, now the men who were doing the work had to pause. They paused and they went back to Moses in verse 5. Went back and told Moses, said, Moses, the people bring much more than enough for the service after work. They bring much more than enough. When you realize just how God has blessed you, you ought not hold back anything from the Lord. Not just in frequency, but in quality and amount. Because there's a strange oxymoron of a term. A stingy Christian. I don't get that. I don't understand how you have benefited from God saving your soul. And you're going to be stingy toward God. How God has kept you through danger seen and unseen. And you don't want to give God your best. How God has kept your mind. You have sanity today with all of the insanity that you had to deal with. Only because God is the God that you can call on in the midnight hour when nobody else wants to be popular with you. And you don't want to give God your best. The workman said, Moses, you telling them, slow down. They were bringing in so much. Imagine our giving in that manner. Just imagine what we could do, church. And we would give God regularly, give God our best, and give God to the max. Imagine what the Lord could do to us. Moses sent out the word, okay, y'all, we got enough to get it done. And verse 7 closed. The stuff that they had was sufficient and too much. Can you imagine giving to God in such a manner? It goes to show you, the words of the song is true. You can't beat God giving. But the more you give, the more God blesses you. And the more God blesses you, the more you want to give to the Lord. You look for ways to bless God. You look for ways to do God's will. And you do not, and here's the word that the scripture uses to describe those who are at the opposite end of the spectrum. They are covetous. Yes, sir. Yeah. Covetous folk. Covetous folk are folk who desire and lust after that which they already got it, but they want more of it. But not in a good way. They already have material things that ought to allow them to be a blessing to others. But instead of being a blessing to others, they just want more and more and more. You remember the man that Jesus talked about that had a lot of stuff, and instead of sharing what God had already given him, he decided he was going to tear down those barns he already had and build bigger barns so he could keep more of what God had given him for himself. Selfish. Selfishness is one of those things that come with covetousness. You know why you can't be happy giving unto the Lord? Because you got too much glue in your hand. For those who remember professional football before they outlawed it, there was a guy that played for the Oakland Raiders. And he used to use what they call sticker on his hand. And whenever the ball just came back, it had to stick to his hand. He didn't have to be the best catcher or receiver because he had so much sticker on his hand. Problem was that the sticker was hard to come off the ball. And so then on the next play, when the center had to snap the ball, the quarterback is fumbling the ball because the ball stays in the hand of the center. Or the quarterback got the ball and he's attempting to pass the ball, and the ball, he can't throw it right because of sticker on his hand. And so while the sticker may have worked for the receiver, the sticker didn't work for the center or the quarterback. Y'all say, what all that got to do with the message today? Well, some of us got sticker. And all you can see is when a blessing comes back, you stick your hand out there and try to grab it. Even if it was intended for somebody else, but you got so much sticker on your hand. But you ought to ask the Lord to clean your hand up today, so that when God sends a blessing for somebody else, you ain't trying to grab somebody else. Because somebody ought to know God can bless you like He bless somebody else. And God don't have to take your blessing and give to anybody else. God got enough to bless everybody. So we ought to be a people who have joy in our giving. You'll find out that when you have joy in giving, it starts to increase. The more and the more. And notice this, y'all, and I'm going home. Nobody complained in the giving process, even though the resources began to increase. They didn't sit there and say, well, they got enough already. That was for the workers who were doing the work to determine. But those who were to bring it, their responsibility was to do what? Bring it. Come on, y'all. Their responsibility was simply to bring it. Here's a sign you don't have joy when you give. You will look and think you know what's in the bank and say, that's enough. And so then you'll start taking that which ought to be brought for the Lord. Because church, you know what? Here in the text, it was simply for one tabernacle to be built. But for us, God got a lot of work for us to do. So don't sit there thinking that it's going to ever get to a point where we won't have need. God has commissioned us to do his holy will, so your job is to keep bringing it over and over and over again and be happy about it. Happy in giving. Yes. Joy in giving. Yes. Smile when you give. Amen. Don't grumble. When you put the envelope in the plate and start wondering what they're going to do with it. Here's what I've learned. Can I give you a tip and then I'm out your way? Over in the book of Haggai, God tried to explain to his people. He said, now, I told y'all to build a sanctuary. This is after they came back from captivity. They're supposed to build a sanctuary, and they have neglected God's house. But they're doing all right. The scripture uses the term they're living in sealed houses. Houses not with removable roofs, permanent roofs, permanent structures, nice house. And yet the house of God was left incomplete. And God said, now, I can handle that. Because y'all haven't figured out that when you try to cheat God, he puts it this way. It's like putting your money in a bag with a hole in it. Come on. Come on. Now y'all know that would tick you off. You get mad with it. With my money. A bag with a hole in it. Can it be any clearer? That which you think you're holding on to, something can come up. And no matter what your bottom line bank account is, all it takes is one catastrophic thing in your life to wipe it out. It's all gone. So you got to learn how to trust in the Lord. And demonstrate your love of God and trust in the Lord, that when it comes time to give to the service of God, that you do so willingly. Amen. That you do so with joy. Amen. I'm happy today. Yes. I don't know about y'all, but I'm happy today. I'm on the way to go home and eat collard greens and all that. But I'm happy today. Because God has been good to me. And God has blessed me. And I got everything that I have, I got to be willing to say, it's yours, Lord. Do what you want to with it, to bring you glory and to bring you honor. How would you react today if the Lord told you to empty your pocket and bring it for his service? Somebody going to leave out here mad today. Somebody going to leave questioning, what did the Lord really say that? But if God spoke to your heart and said to you, this is what I want from you, because I gave you everything that you have. How willing are you today? How willing? That's our challenge today, church, to have the joy of the Lord in our giving. And when you just give because you love the Lord, church, you'll never miss it. You'll never miss it. Newsflash. You're going to leave it all. You ain't there to go. And all the folk that you got as beneficiaries, you got your fingers crossed. They're going to do the right thing. Why don't you put it in God's hands? And it's God to bless that. Even when you long gone, God got a way that when you faithful